Hey guys, AnimeWestReacts here. Let's give a reaction to One Piece, chapter 1147. Chapter is titled The Things We Find Scary. So, cover page Yamato eating onigiri, Raizo getting hugged by Tama. So, Raizo, the daimyo of Udon, expresses his gratitude. Okay, so Raizo got a promotion, I guess. But yeah, starting the chapter off, Saul saying, Robin Chopper Hyde. I've seen him before. He's a god's knight. Huh. Interesting. And so Saul says, they're immortal. We can't beat them. For the children's sake, you gotta stay hidden and wait for the right moment. And then, yeah. Somers says, the survivor of O'Hara. Well, I guess there were two of you, huh? The Marine sure dropped the ball there. And then, yeah, there's like a shift noise, and Somers says, And they get then Somers says, Gunko, you done rounding up the Straw Hats? Are we bringing them back with us? Killingham says, Summers, you dolt. You know we aren't here to provoke Straw Hat Leafy, right? We are to carry out our mission and go back home. And so Nami says, Grr, how dare they do that how dare they do that to Saul? And they took Colin too. How could you let this happen, Jinbei? I thought we'd be good with you here. And Jinbei says, quit making a racket. I'm trying to think. I wonder, how do we handle this ability? Usopp says, that lady is scary. I thought I was a goner. And then Brooke says, that woman, no, it couldn't be. And Gunko points a arrow rapier sword at Brooke, and he's like, yeah. Usopp's like, yeah, she's back, the zombie lady. And she puts her foot in Brooke's face, like on his neck, and says, he's like, yeah, this is Brooke. Says, you there. And he says, huh? Says, your life will be devoted to making music for me. You belong to me. And Brooke's like, huh? And I was like, what the? She knows Brooke's music? No way. It's just like, she's a celestial dragon and a Soul King fan. Anybody says, that's a hell of a groupie. Somers says, hey, Gunko, cut that out. I'm not in the mood to pick a fight with an emperor here. Here either. Let's finish the job. And Brooke says, my sincerest apologies, young lady. My captain, Straw Hat Luffy, gave me a second lease on life. Since then, my loyalty has been to him alone. And then Gunko says, and if refusal means forfeiting your life, Brooke says, I would sooner embrace death than live without honor. And so, yeah. Well, then, yeah, Gunko kicks him with an arrow and on her kick. And then she says, and like grabs her chest, it looks like. And says, Brooke, yes. Yeah, she doesn't like what she's doing, probably. But anyway, Summer says, we good killing him? And he says, yeah, go ahead. And then he goes on the transponders and tells them, can you hear me? Warriors of Elbaf. And they're like, who's that? Transmission. And Summer says, I'll bet by now you're feeling the pressure from all these abnormalities. This is our handiwork. I am the dagger of the Holy Land Maryjoa. Maryjoa. How do you say it? Summers of the God Knights. And then over at Artisan Village says Maryjoa. So they're with the world government. What do they want? Says Chief, this is broadcasting all over Elbaf at the moment. And Dorian Bragi says they're exposing themselves. And the Hunter Village says, are the kids okay? Says you're probably already aware, but we are currently in the middle of kidnapping 10 children from this country. Oh yeah, and we've already taken down a certain orange-haired bearded guy who was trying his dearest to free them. So I say something. Angie says something happened to Mr. Saul, and so yeah. Summer says, in short, you naively assumed those brats would be kept safe, but they're still storming toward our goal. And someone says, it's showtime. Too bad we don't have a video feed. And then Gillingham says, do you remember the names of all the kids we had to march out of here? Says, of course. And then he says, all right, then you'll inform the parents. It's about time for the children to wake up from their dreams. And someone says, hey, what are you doing walking out here? Where are we going? Dunno, but I bet it's far away. Nuh-uh, this is branch 18, the way back home. Says, yeah, but our bodies are still moving on their own, aren't they? So yeah, the kids are all awake now. Says, so we're not going home, but I want my mommy, I want my daddy, and then Colin's been added to the line now, and he says, you can't see them, we've been kidnapped. Yeah. They all scream, and Colin says, calm down, I'm here. It's not like you. I'm not like you weaklings, I'm a warrior. And then, yeah, they say it's a monster and a ghost calling help, and then he screams because, yeah, seeing the big giant nightmare monster things. So, yeah, this says on the Great Eric, I guess, says Saul seems to have been taken out, turned back. We're going to rescue the kids. Says Chief's about that. The ship has sprung a leak and we've got broken oars. And like, damn it, what's this creature supposed to be? Not sure. Some kind of beastly woman. Looks like my missus. It says you're in for a beating. Says the one over there looks like my wife, huh? Hang on, aren't these things just the kid's fears come to life? Says, say Bent's your kid, right? And he says, yeah. So what Bent finds scary is his mom, then that means, yeah, their mothers. So yeah, they're getting checked by the moms. It's like, wow, anyone would be scared of anyone would be scared by that, even us. Yes, you got them all just reacting in fear. We can't do this. Our spirits aren't strong enough. It says, I'm sorry for always going out drinking, Mom. I shouldn't have forgotten to take out the trash. Forgive me for eating the honey cakes meant for the guests. Says, Chief, this is bad. The island clouds have drifted away. We're going down. And so, yeah, down goes the ship. And then Summer says, ship of the money, giant warrior pirates just crashed. Some strong dream demons got him. Odds seem to only be getting worse for those brats. Let's keep this brief. I am now addressing the legendary warrior Mountain Beard Jarl. And he says, no, Dorian Brogue, you couldn't have. Seeing as the king's gone, you will speak for Elbath. And Ripley says, it can't be the giant warrior pirates have all crashed. Hope the chiefs are safe. Let's hurry. Our goal is simple. You giants will serve as our battle thralls. Otherwise, we'll see just how valuable. Bleh. Otherwise, we'll see just how valuable these brats are as hostages. I'm sure you're all curious about the 10 kids and where they're going, right? So yeah, we get a map of everything, where everyone's at. And then yeah, Andy says, I have names of the kidnapped children. First one is Ilva. And so yeah, here also says Ilva, my great-great-granddaughter. That's Lord Jarl. This next is Scotty. He says, we're helpless. Olaf, a dream. This is a dream. Captain. And yeah, someone says, Captain, that's my grandson. He says, ouch. Colleen. Says, I have the worst luck. We got Mug. Says, I know I'm strong, but I can't stop. There's Rania. She's all positive, saying it's okay, everything will work out. And, yeah, when the giant said, why'd it have to be my daughter? They were on branch 8, right? I'll go save her myself. And we got Bent. He says his mom's gonna be so mad. Johanna says, at least you have parents. And Bjorn says, just save me at least. Says it was just those 9, but later on another was taken because he came to save his friends. Says, you suck, Bjorn. How could you say something like that? And he says, sorry. And then Summer says, the little warrior Colin, he makes 10. And so Ripley says, huh, Colin? Colin? Says, you hear that, Ripley? Our boy sure is something. And yeah, she's like, this isn't the time to brag. Says, now we'll make our demands. Listen closely, Elbath. Warriors have no need for schools. They don't need libraries or their pointless history either. Set them ablaze and swear your allegiance to us. He says, if you don't, we're going to kill your kids off one by one. And he said, help, save us. And yeah, that's what, understandably, I guess, ticks off Yasan and says, what the hell did he just say? It says, we know where the kids are. Let's go save them. I'll smash them to bits. And yeah, Summer says, Elder Jarl, the choice is yours. And she says, please wait, that's just too cruel. Says the school is a symbol of Elbath's peace, and the library not only safeguards our long history, but also the secrets of the world that the scholars of Hara sacrificed their lives to protect. It doesn't just belong to Elbath. Summer says, you sure are a big mouth. And so yeah, Chopper's like, Robin, don't do it. And so yeah, Ripley says, Yasan, please, and he says, on it. And so yeah, both of them in the chapter saying, I'm not going to let it happen. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy this video, and Unluckily Duo springs into action, huh? So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like on it, sub the channel, hit that notification bell, and yeah, I will see y'all next time, so later.